computer. All right, there we go. Okay, so my idea behind business training all came about, and I've actually been wanting to do this for a while. I just was waiting until our team kind of grew a little bit more, but I signed up last year, so 2019, to do Rachel Hollis's business coaching and paid a pretty good chunk of change and learned so much. And then, of course, have been applying it like crazy this year since I've been running my business more full time this year. And so I was like, I want to share all of this information with my downlines, but not make you guys have to pay the hundreds of dollars to get it. So you're welcome, starting in January, we will be going through her course because it starts off the year with goals and like it works well, but I didn't want to not do anything until January. I wanted to get in the habit of this. Like I said, last meeting with Senegence on October 1st, we just started our leaders year. So we have 2 calendar years with Senegence. The leaders year runs from October 1st to September 30th. And then the seminar year runs April 1st to March 31st. So if you hear those terms, or if you're trying to qualify for different trips and things, you'll hear those terms of seminar year, which again is April 1st to March 31st, 30 days, half September, yeah, March 31st. And then the leaders year is October 1st through September 30th. So I figured, why not start right now, fresh in October, the beginning of leaders year with business training and get it all down. So I was like, all right, I'm going to start business training. What all am I going to do before we get to the Rachel Hollis stuff come January? And I want to figure out a method. So what it's going to be every week is 20 minutes of Senegence business training, 20 minutes of a book club, because I think that's super valuable. And I think personal development is everything in this business. And then 20 minutes for questions, and I'll do a weekly hustler challenge. And my goal with those weekly hustler challenges is to have them be very strong income producing activities that you're focusing on just that week. And my original goal was like, maybe if we did trying to get like around 300 PV-ish each week, if you did that and you do all the hustler challenges every month, you would be banking about $1,000 in your pocket. So that's kind of my idea behind all of how these meetings are going to work each week. Like I said, they're book club, so there will be books. You can get them on Audible, you can get them on Amazon, but I do really think that personal development in this business is everything. Because it's not a job where somebody's telling you what to do. You are not just going to get a paycheck just for showing up and being there and being a body. You have to put in the work. And kind of, Brooke, like what we were just talking about, you're going to have weeks or days where all you hear is no or no responses. And that wears on you if you don't have a little bit of a tough skin and personal development inside to know, like, this is not personal. This is not about me. I can do this. I can still be successful. I just have to keep moving forward. And I truly, truly, truly think that is how I've been so successful, is I have just had a tough skin. I know that it's possible. I see women making thousands upon thousands of dollars in this company. And I'm like, I want to be one of them. I am going to be them. So I just keep pushing. Sorry, Adobe Flash is trying to start on my computer. So that is, I think, one of the most important things is the personal development aspect. I also, with this training, I'm sorry, I'm pinning myself because I just realized I'm recording and I don't know if it'll have that. I want to be very honest with you guys about your businesses. And that's why I was kind of in the team chat. I kind of was very trying to get the point across. Like, if you want to participate, let me know. I'm going to make a separate chat, because I feel like I like to sugarcoat things and I love to be encouraging, and I'm a cheerleader at heart, and I'm there and I want to support you and I want to be fluffy clouds and rainbows. But sometimes I think there's some honesty that needs to be said about like, hey, I think you're just making excuses this week. And I feel like if you're agreeing to be in business training, you're going to learn to have that tough skin where I can be very honest with you about your business and help you grow, which sometimes isn't always the most fluffy clouds and unicorns and rainbows. So that's why I want to keep these not separate. You guys, everybody's still going to be in the fluffy cloud rainbow goodies and giveaways. But if you're in this to make some money, and again, it doesn't have to be your full-time job. It still could be like, I want to make $500 a month, but you're serious about it. I want to be able to be open with you about what I think is working and what I think isn't for your business, and not have you run home crying, because I don't want to make you cry. I just want to make you better. So that's why these are very separate. But yeah, I literally have a girl, and I would love to just say, you are just making excuses. The second you stop making excuses, you will be able to succeed in this business. But I won't say that until they're in this business training. So just so you know, I don't do that for people who aren't super serious, because I want to keep it very fun and lighthearted. But if you want to get into this, just so you know, there will be times of that. Not a lot. I'm not going to be like crazy angry pants, because that's just not me. But like I said, I want to be honest and do things like that. So, all right, I've already chatted for most of, but since we don't have a book club, I can go into that time. But I'm literally setting my timer on my watch because I don't want to talk too long about one thing. So in our Senegence training of this week, going basically to the basic values of Senegence, and this comes from Joni, our CEO, which, by the way, you guys, I get a one-on-one call with her next month, and I cannot freaking wait, because I'm going to ask her everything, and I don't know what all I'm going to learn from that. But anyways, this is her when she started this company, which, if you don't know, Joni originally was part of Mary Kay. So she sold Mary Kay. She knew about cosmetics. She knew about MLMs, direct sales, all of that. And she wanted to do her own thing. So she figured out lip scents. We started with 6 lip scents colors. That's it. And she just started going to vendor events and just started selling to people, and then just started saying, hey, like, one of my favorite stories is a girl, Jerry Taylor Suede, was at a vendor event, met Joni. Joni was like, hey, work this for me, work my booth for me. She bought a color one day. She came back the next day to buy another color. And Joni was like, work my vendor, work my booth for me for a few hours. I've got to go run an errand. And that was how her first downline was born. So then Jerry Taylor Suede, who is a super high queen in the company, that's how she started. And that's how the direct sales and the multi-level of Senegence was born. And then, of course, we became all sorts of amazing things with other things, aside from 6 lip scents colors. But the fact that a company started with just 6 and succeeded, I think, is pretty amazing. So this is her basic thing. And you've heard this before. I know you have. But you wow, you book, you demo, and you direct. And if you're like, are you freaking kidding me, Erica? You're going to talk about this for 20 minutes? Yes, I am. Maybe not quite 20, because I have a video I want to show you, but we're going to chat about it for a while, because if you go back to these basic principles, you'll find success. And the reason I know about going back to basics is because I started going back to the basics of booking Facebook parties, and y'all have seen the business has exploded for me. So going back to basics is never a bad thing. It's always something I recommend doing. So wowing. Originally, when this all started, this company started, it was going out and meeting women and wearing your lip scents and wowing them by, showing your lip scents and that. But now you can wow in a million different ways. This look is a wow. People look at it and they're like, oh, and they start to ask me a question. wearing your stripes, which I don't have on right now, but that's the best one. Brooke's got hers. Whoop, whoop. So wearing your stripes, that is huge because everybody wants to know why the heck you got makeup on your hand. And even if it's not a woman and it's a guy that's like, oh, you've been trying out makeup. You're like, no, I actually sell this. And you can rub your hand. He's like, oh, that's cool. Like, it doesn't matter if you're making a sale. You're just wowing. And that in itself needs to be done on a regular basis. So wowing is step number 1. Next one is booking. So now you've got their attention and people are impressed and they are drawn in to what you're doing. Now you need to book time with them. So if it is in person and you are meeting somebody and showing them that your lip sense doesn't come off in your mask when you're at the restaurant and the poor waitress has got lipstick all in her mask, then you need to book time with her. And I know now in COVID, it's weird. So most of the booking is done online. So you book a Facebook party, a one-on-one, you book time with them. Another booking method is, hey, I'm going live at 7 o'clock. Come join me, because you're booking time. If you don't tell people where to go, they won't know. So you have to give them time to meet you, and that is booking. Then when you have them together or on your live stream video, you demo the products. And of course, it doesn't need to be perfect. Nobody wants to see perfect. They actually want to see a real human doing it because that's what they're going to look like doing it. And they want to know that you don't have to be a professional makeup artist to look good. So you don't have to go crazy and do elaborate makeup if you want to, and that's your specialty, by all means do it, but just show them how to use the products. Because this is another huge thing with ours, LipSense and Senegence products have a learning curve. And you all know that. It's not like the normal makeup that you buy in the store. The LipSense, you need to know how to apply it correctly for it to work. The skincare is best when applied in a certain order. The mascara needs to be taken off with our Foops or a shea butter body cream. There's just different learning curves. So when you're demoing, you're also giving them all of this information. It's teaching. It's literally just teaching is all you're doing. And then the final step, directing. And this is hard for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, okay, thanks, bye for joining. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they keep scrolling. You've got to let them know how they can get these products, or how they can host a party to earn these products at a discount, or how they can sign up and make an extra couple $100 because everybody needs extra money right now. So you've got to direct. And there are so many great videos on this about how at the end of your live, you literally can be like, all right, you guys, part of my job is chatting with you about the different opportunities this has. If you have no interest in starting your own business, it was great to see you. I'll catch you the next time. And like, you literally can dismiss those people and then you can talk about the opportunity. And you don't have to do that every time you go live. Some of the directing could be directing them to your website. So if you liked these colors that I used tonight in the video, I'm going to put my website in the comments below. You can click there and order caramel latte tonight and it'll be at your house in a week. Directing is just giving them the information. And they always say, give them the 3 choices every time. I say just direct them wherever you want them. And it doesn't have to be the same way. It can be directing them to make a sale, it can be directing them to book a party, or it can be directing them to join your team or consider that aspect of things. So that's the basics of Wow Book Demo Direct. Again, you all know them. You're like, I've heard you talk about them a million times. But what I want you to do for homework, and yes, in business training, there's going to be homework each and every week, is write down on a piece of paper. At the top, you're going to write, and I don't care how you flip your paper, but hi, buddy, do you have to go potty? If you have to go potty, go downstairs. Somebody will let you go potty. So I want you to write down, wow, book, demo, and direct on your paper. And I want you to write down every single time that you have done one of these things and try to be aware of it. And if you have more wows, that's okay. If you have more demos, that's okay. If you have more book, just be aware of it. And so every time you're doing it for an entire week, I want you to write them down, because it's like a food journal, you know, anytime they're like, if you want to lose weight, you write down everything you eat. If you want to succeed in business, you write down everything you're doing for it. And so it's the same mentality of just write it down and just see what you're doing, because then next week we can come back and look and be like, oh, okay, well, we've got a little bit of a lackage in the wowing. Let's work on that. So I just want you to do that every time, every day you do it. If you want to keep it in your phone, whatever, but just keeping track of every time you wow, book, demo, and direct. That's part one of the homework. And then part two is come up with a different wow, a different book, a different demo, and a different direct that makes you a little uncomfortable. Because the magic happens outside your comfort zone. It's that my favorite little graphic of, it's like the circle and it's like your comfort zone. And then it's the big circle where the magic happens. It's outside of this comfort zone. So write down all of those, how you could wow. And they don't have to link together if you think of them in different ways, but how you could do each one of those a little outside of your comfort zone. Cool? So now I want to show you guys, and I put it in the group chat. And so some of you have seen this, you might have all seen this, but I'm going to share my screen. I want to share Keynote. Here we go. Come on, share that. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I need to put music to it. I haven't put music to it, but we're going to watch it and then we're going to talk about it one time.
Money to subsidize the Russian operatives. So the FBI followed the money. The Russians used a brush pass.
A quick investment exchange of items. In May of 2004, FBI surveillance was able to document a brush pass between Metsos and the Russian government that before still swung on a railroad station. A credentialed diplomat of the Russian Federation is moving down the stairs while Metsos is moving up the stairs. Each man carries an identical bag, which they exchange midpoint on the stairs. Inside the bag, we believe a significant amount of U.S. currency.
That was concerning to us because it let us know that the Russians felt like they could freely travel into the United States and conduct operational activity right underneath our noses.
Now, Christopher Metsos, flush with the currency he's just received from the Russian government, moves to a restaurant in Queens later that same day.
There, Metsos met with Richard Murphy, the spy who studied public policy and lived with his wife and children in New Jersey.
They walked together to a restaurant in Sunnyside, and they sat at the table by the window, and they were there for approximately 2 hours. We recorded it. We also had FBI agents in the restaurant next to him.
At the table, Metsos asked Murphy $175,000, and there was another $60,000 that came with a very specific set of instructions.
The Russians told Metsos to drive upstate New York and bury it. Through a GPS device with affixed to the rental car that Metsos was driving, we see the car go north out of New York City to a rest stop in Worthsboro, New York.
Agents quickly identified where the money was hidden.
A small number of agents went up to the rest stop, digging down a short.
Okay, there we are. Okay, cool. So I created this when I read Business of the 21st Century. And I thought that was going to be our first book club of the month, but I decided to start with a different one because we're coming up on holidays and I want to focus on sales for the holidays. So your first book that we are going to be reading or listening to is You Are a Badass at Making Money.
Back in the suburbs of New Jersey.
And if you've read it once, you're going to read it again. Like, we're all going to do it together. So the first assignment, quote unquote, is going to be chapters 1 through 4. So if you're like, I don't want to spend money, you can get it on Audible for free. And then you just need to cancel your membership within the next 30 days. So once you finish listening to it, you can cancel your Audible membership. They do Audible, you get a free download every month, and they charge you $15. But if you haven't signed up for Audible before, you can do it for free and get that. Or I looked and you can get it on Amazon for $10. So getting that, let me know in our new chat. I will mention that that's the book club of the month. I guess we'll wait, of course, till everybody has it. Ideally, before our next meeting, we try to get through chapters 1 through 4. But if we need to push that back 1 week, that's totally fine. But that is the book club of the month, is You Are a Badass at Making Money by, I can even tell you who it's by. You can look it up. There's not a whole bunch of them. Jen,
Amazon.
yeah,
It's like $10 on Amazon.
totally, exactly. Yep. So you can grab that if you, like I said, I have it on Audible just because I love to listen to the people who wrote the book narrate it. I just feel like they like drive the punches home of what you really need to hear. But however it's best for you, that is our book club of the month. So we will be getting that. And once you have it, let me know in the chat so that we can start ideally doing chapters 1 through 4. But backtracking to this presentation of the slideshow. So I started to create this when I read The Business of the 21st Century, which will be our next book club. So if you're like, I want to save on shipping, that's going to be the next one. So get that one as well. The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. Kiyosaki, I can get it to make sure I'm saying that right.
When we entered the Murphy home, one of the things
And
we
this
found
guy, Robert Kiyosaki, I don't know.
Kiyosaki.
Thank you. So that's our second one. So yeah, if you want to save on shipping or whatever, grab that and you'll have the 2. That'll take us through the end of the year because we're going to get into holidays. And so if we can make it through those 2 books by January 1st, I will be super happy. So when I read this, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. If you literally can do the comp plan and work the comp plan, it's so easy. It's not asking you to go out and find 1 million people. And it's not asking you to sell $1 trillion worth of products. $1 trillion. It's a new number that we're making up. It's very simple. So like I said, I'm kind of going back and forth because we'll look at this slideshow many a times. Neptune, stop. But I wanted to definitely show it today because of the free signups. So I wanted to make sure we talk about it and how you can achieve this, just because this is a great month to get started on it. But we will keep going over it again when we read The Business of the 21st Century. So how it works, how it breaks down. Oh, I'm still sharing my screen, but that's fine because I want to be on the keynote. So in 6 months making, and this is all in commission, FYI, this is not sales. This is only in commission. So this is only in your down line. So what if I told you in 6 months, you could be making over $1,000 a month? In 7 months, you can be a princess, which is a title that we have within the company. In 10 months, you can be making over 5 figures. And after a year, your monthly commission is over $25,000. So, I mean, I look at that and I'm like, yes, sign me up. What cult do I need to be in? You don't even need to be in a cult. It's magical. So,
I've got blood available. I'll donate it.
Right? So how I did this, and of course, there is no max on the Senegent's commission plan, which is unheard of. There is no cap. They do not say you're making too much money, we're stopping you. They will always pay you forever and ever, all the way through all the people you've signed up, all the way through your fifth line. So I've never done other direct sales, so I don't know, but I have heard a million people say that that is unheard of. Normally there's breakouts, and once people become successful, they get broken out and you don't get paid on them anymore. And that's how others work. With Senegents, they want you to make successful people, and they're always going to thank you, and they are always going to pay you. So there will never be a break in your thing. There will never be anything that Senegents takes away. I was at a training in Arizona, and they were like, just heads up, we just wrote our first six-figure commission check. And that was for a month. So they're talking big money that they're writing checks for, and they're not stopping. They're not gonna hold you and not allow you to make that. So there is way more that you can make, but I'm like, let's not overwhelm everybody. Let's do it just by one person a month. And you all know that 300 PV is the magic number. That's where you get a big discount. That's when you become a qualified distributor. And that's when commission gets paid in full. So you always want people, yourself, your downlines, no matter what, 300 PV is how they help you. Anybody that orders less is, I mean, you're making money on them, but you're not making the max, and they screw everything up. So this is all based upon everybody doing 300 PV a month, which I've got to be honest, and this is where my brutal honesty comes in, that is not that hard to do. If you are talking to people and you are sharing the products that you love, that should be very doable for you and for all of your downlines. And you can remind them that that is them making, if they're new, it's them making $300. If they're past their first 90 days, that's them making $240. So it's still a good chunk of change in their sales. But 300 PV is where all of these things were created. So everybody doing that signs up. So we start here in month 1. You're the cute little purple girl with sassy hips, and you sign up one person. They place a 300 PV order. You make $30. So then we go, and this mentality is that everybody duplicates, everybody repeats. So then you do what you did last month. You sign up a new person. You sign up heart number 2. They place 300 PV. Your heart number 1 also is placing 300 PV, but now she's going to join this party, and she's going to sign up somebody who places 300 PV order. You're making $80 that month. Okay. So then we just keep going. You sign up another new person. They place 300, person from last month, 300, this person. And that's when you hit your first rank, which is called maiden. And that's just 3 people on your first line at 300 PV each, and yourself included. You have to place a 300 PV order. Same thing. And the black, if you're like going back and you're looking at this and you like are wanting to study these pictures, the black hearts and or black stars are people that you had from previous months, and anybody that's pink is new. So you got a new one, your person from last month got a new one, and person from month number 1, and we're just continuing to duplicate. You're at 180. We go to month number 4. This is where we start to get a big jump, because 5 is also a magic number in Senegents. So 300 PV and then 5. When you have, oh, actually, we don't even hit it yet in this month. We hit it in month 5. But this, you're still making 365 a month in month number 4. Now we go into month 5, and this is where the 5 is magical. So over where it says commission, on your first line, you always make 10%. Always, forever and a day. If they make a 100 PV order, you make $10. If they make 1,000 PV order, you make $100. So on your first line, you always make 10%. On your second line, on the first 100 PV, you make 20%, which is why there's like the first number, and then there's what's, you can see GSV beneath it. That's called group sales. I wrote bonus, but it's group sales volume or group sales bonus. When you have 5 people ordering at 300 PV on a line, you get a percentage bonus. So that's why I was saying the 5 is also ideal. I think of 3s and I think of 5s in this company. So you get the bonus on your second line, you get the bonus on your third line, and you get the bonus on your fourth line. And I will gladly go through when we train commission and do all of the percentages. But honestly, until you get to month 5, you don't need to worry about them much. You just need to worry about the 10% and duplicating. And then it just keeps going. But I look at this and I'm like, 1 person a month placing 300 PV should not be that difficult. This whole making this actual thing happen should be a strong reality. And and this is where I'll be very honest with you guys about my business. I build my first line. It's so wide. I have a very wide first line. Something about growing down is where I'm hitting a hiccup. So I'm trying to figure out how to help people continue to grow down and showing them like, look, you don't have to do the trainings like I do. You add them into my trainings. I'll do the trainings. You don't have to know all the answers, but starting to build down for everybody, not just for me, this will then be for you as well, is beneficial as well as building wide. So again, we can just keep going and it's just the numbers become stupid. And again, this is off of 300 PV. So let's talk about the rock star who is selling 1,000, even more. She's selling $2,000 in product a month. So that's 1,000 PV. You're making more money off of her. So these numbers are just base off of 300 PV. But like I said, they can grow, they can be more based upon your rock stars or not. But it's all based upon just 1 a month and 1 person and just doing that duplication and encouraging them, like get 1 person next month and doing that side of things. Are there any questions on that?
No, I've got to absorb a lot of that and go back and look at it again.
Totally. Absolutely. Yes. And
I agree.
that's why I was like looking at it, and I'll explain the commission percentages, but that's one of the things that I'm like, you honestly, you can get, I'll share them with you. They're easy for my brain for numbers, but a lot of people are like, and then they're like, I don't want to change because I don't want to deal with the commission aspect. I'm like, no, you do. You want that money. That money is big
For sure.
money. The people who you guys see that are leaders in making the thousands upon thousands are doing it off of commission. There's probably maybe I was in the top 20 last month. So there are less than 20 people making like a good chunk of money on sales. And I have no problem sharing what I made in sales is here at this month 8 commission. And I know that the commission checks that those girls above me are making are at least quadruple, if not 10 times that. I would say they're easily making 20,000 a month on commission, like without even thinking about it. So it's huge. It is something to be done, but don't be overwhelmed with it. That's why I'm saying just 1. And it's free this month. And I know I talked about Bora Bora or whatever the trip is going to be that they announce. They'll announce it this weekend because you guys know that there's a percentages conference that's happening this weekend.
Yeah.
So they'll announce where the new lips trip is going to be. They'll announce new products, all these new products that are going to release. So it'll be a fun weekend of a whole bunch of things happening. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen because it says my computer is not doing so well. Oh, calm down, little guy. Okay, so yes, absorb that, but like I said, just one is all you need. And then continuing to duplicate and share. And that's also why I really have worked hard at the Shout robot trainings, is what I call
That's
them,
great.
the bot trainings, because you don't have to do it then. And not that I don't want you to be in touch, and not that I'm not in touch with you guys, but that is how you can train people without even being there or spending a lot of time doing it. They do it on their time. You gave them the information and it works. And you don't even need to reinvent that wheel. When you get your first downline, I show you how to set it up so those text messages come from you and they don't come from me. So I am working on finishing that. I'm at like week 8, I think, or week 7 right now. My goal is to make it through their first 90 days. I want to have a weekly text to them through their first 90 days. And then at that point, they should probably kind of know what they're doing at that point.
No, it's the bot training's great. It's great.
Cool. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Once you get Brooke to the point where they're like, they don't come anymore, I want to hear like super specific feedback on you. Cause like I said,
Okay.
It's still new. So I want to know like what you felt like was missing, what was way valuable, just I want feedback, because that's how we're going to improve it. And that'll benefit me and you and your future downlines and all of that jazz.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, so that was kind of our book club. I knew that we didn't have a review of book club, so I wanted to talk on that. So now, last 20 minutes is the Hustler Challenge of the week. And I kept going back and forth. I was like, ooh, I don't know, that feels like a lot. And but guess what? You're in the business training. I want to push you. I don't want it to be easy. I want it to be something you have to strive for. Also, side note, if you hit the Hustler Challenge and you complete all of it, I will send you, I think it's going to be Starbucks, because I love Starbucks. But if people are like, I don't want Starbucks, we'll figure out a different thing. But every week that you hit it, you're going to get a gift from me. So not only incentive to make money, because like I said, my goal is to make you 300 PV a week, which means that's $300 or $240 in your pocket a week. But then you get a little bonus treat from me as well, just for completing them. So there is 2 more days of mystery bags. I want you to try to sell 3 a day. I want you to try to sell 6 more. And I know you might be like, are you serious? I just sold 6. Brooke is like, I literally just got to 6 or almost got to 6.
I've got 1 on the fence.
1 on the fence. But you guys, the pictures have leaked of them. The amount of good product that is in these is insane. I am trying not to share the pictures with my VIP group just because I want it to still be, and it's like a surprise for some of them. But if you have somebody on the fence and you show them the amount of product, you guys, a pearlizer alone, an advanced anti-aging pearlizer on its own is $60. That is the cost of the bag. And then they get another $100 of stuff in there. 2 out of the 6 bags have pearlizer in them. So there is math. What is that, 30% chance that they're going to get a pearlizer? I don't know. I'm bad.
Yeah, you're.
But that is good. And then the blushes that come in there is huge. Like, so set 6 mystery bags from today until the end. And I used to do this. I used to be like, okay, the challenge is to sell 6. Great. I already sold 4. I only have 2 more to sell. Nope. From tonight on, you have to sell 6. So that is your first part of the challenge, which if you sell 6 mystery bags, that puts you at 180 PV. So to make up your remaining 120 PV. Oh God, this is even easier than I thought now. I thought it was 220 PV, but I just redid the math in my head. 120 PV. When the new products launch, sell 1 of each. And I guarantee you they're going to probably be over 120 PV. If they're not, I'll modify and tell you, try to sell 2 of this one and 1 of this one. But your goal is when all the new products launch on Friday is to sell 1 of each. And if you complete 6 mystery bags and 1 of each new product, you will be at 300 PV, which means you have either $300 in your pocket if you're new, or $240 in your pocket if you've been around for a while, and then you'll get a goodie from me. Cool?
Cool.
Awesome. So any questions for me while we are here?
Not right now.
Not right now. I love it.
But I ordered my first book already while we were on the line, and I'm racking my brain and going to try to get more mystery bags. And I'm really excited about new products because everybody loves new products. So
Totally.
That'll be fun.
Totally. Yep. So, and again, and another thing I forgot to mention with business training is I always offer this, but people don't take me up on it. But at any point, every week, for being here, you are allowed to book a 20-minute one-on-one with me and literally pick my brain and be like, why isn't this working? How do you do this? And it'll be one-on-one, and you have access to my brain for 20 minutes. And I can't tell you that I have all the answers, but I will be an open book. And I want you guys to know I'm never not sharing it. Like, if I found something that works, I'm going to absolutely regurgitate the exact same thing that works for you guys, because I want it to work for you. And that's something I really believe wholeheartedly, is there is enough to go around. I do not have a lack mentality. I think if that's something, like, if you sit down and you are like, I just don't know if there's so many people that sell, that's a lack mentality. And in the course of our personal development, I'm hoping that I can knock that out from you, because I really do. There is enough to go around. There are thousands upon thousands and thousands of women that have not heard of Senegence and Lip Sense yet. And it still blows my mind. Every time I do a Facebook party and somebody's like, I've never heard of it. I'm like, where have you been for the past 4 years? Like, the internet has exploded with it, but it's amazing to me. And then here's another cool thing, kind of cool. I think it's cool. There were a bunch of really shitty distributors that joined when I joined. There was a big boom in the company like 3.5, 4 years ago. And a bunch of people joined just to MLM and just to build a team. And so their sales side of things was really crappy. They sold people Lip Sense with no gloss. They didn't tell them how to use it. And there's a whole slew of people who say they had a bad experience with lips that just didn't know that they needed the gloss and the remover to take it off. So that, like, and again, I find it exciting. It's kind of a sad for that happened to them in the first place. But I love helping people discover it again. I had a lady in a party recently. She's like, I've got 5 colors that have sat in my drawer for 2 years because I didn't know that I needed a gloss. And I was like, oh my God, we sold her a gloss and 6 more colors because now she's excited to use them. So it's just, there is plenty. There is not a lack in this world. And I think that way about my team, and taking a customer who might have been a really great customer, and if they want to run and make a team, I'm like, yes, let's do it. I'm not afraid of losing them as a customer. I'm excited to help them continue to grow, because again, there's enough. There is no lack in this world. And the sooner you can get over that lack bubble, the faster you'll run with this business. Cool?
Very cool.
Very good. Awesome. So let me know when books arrive in hand. I will start the new group chat tonight and email this meeting to everybody. I'll email it to you guys as well, so you can have it if you want to go back and do anything. So homework is the Wow Book Demo Direct. Keep like your food chart for your Wow Book Demo Direct and how you're doing it. How you're going to do different Wow Book Demo Directs that would be outside of your comfort zone. And we're going to share those. So just get ready. We're going to share them, but we're going to share them next week so I can help you figure out ways to make it feel less scary. So that's why we're going to share that. And then if you have the book, we're going to read chapters 1 through 4. And then your Hustler Challenge, 6 mystery bags, 1 of each new product, and have a killer week and weekend.
Awesome.
Cool. You
Thank you.
guys, thanks for joining me. I will chat.
Thanks,
with you.
Erica.
Oh, and if you want a 20 one-on-one, just message me and we'll set up a time. That's the other thing.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye, Brenda. Bye, Erica.
Bye.